It's 10:12 a.m. on the 1st of October 2025. Over the western edge of the Taiwan Strait, the calm hum of engines inside a USRC 135 watts rivet joint breaks as alarms scream. Radar lock. 2 contacts, closing fast. The crew jolts to action. Screens flicker with red triangles racing toward them. Outside, the sky flashes silver. A Chinese J-10C roars past the nose, barely 15 feet away. The sudden turbulence slams the jet sideways. Oxygen masks drop, papers scatter. The pilot steadies the controls, eyes fixed on the fighter looping ahead. Then, a chilling tone fills the cockpit. Missile radar PL-15, seeker active. Moonstone 2, 1 to command. We are being locked, unsafe intercept. Static crackles through the comms. The J-10C slides across their flight path again. Its missiles armed. Its pilot staring back. For 30 seconds, both sides hang on a razor's edge. One mistake, one twitch, and it's no longer a standoff, it's war. The skies west of Taiwan are supposed to be neutral international airspace. But in 2025, neutral means nothing here. Every mile of sky is contested, every flight shadowed. The US RC 135 watts, call sign Moonstone 21, isn't armed. Its mission is to collect electronic signals, to understand how the enemy sees and fights. For Beijing, though, this aircraft represents intrusion, a spy plane flying too close to home. Since early September, Chinese J-10C and J-16 fighters have been intercepting almost every US surveillance mission near the strait. Each encounter is tighter, more dangerous. Pilots report radar locks, flare warnings, even mid-air taunts over open frequency. Both nations claim self-defense. Neither wants to back off. Inside the rivet joint, the crew feels that tension. Every blip on radar could mean escalation. Every second they stay on course risks an international incident. But turning back means giving China the advantage, letting their electronic systems go untracked, their weapons untested. Thousands of miles away in Hawaii, Indopacom Command watches the feed in silence. The images streaming in lock tones, distance readings, engine noise paint a picture of how close the two giants now are. One slip, and the next flash on the screen won't be a warning light, it'll be debris. For the US, this isn't just a flight, it's a statement, a test of who controls the air and who blinks first. Each maneuver sends a signal that echoes from Washington to Beijing. The margin for error is thinner than ever, yet neither side wants to yield. If you were sitting in that cockpit, with alarms blaring and a rival fighter locked on your tail, would you hold your line or break away? Tap 1 to stand firm, or 9 if you pull out before it's too late. 10:15 a.m. The J-10C rolls back from the sun, slicing across the rivet joint's nose. Its afterburner flares blue-white, shaking the American jet. "Separation less than 20 feet!" the sensor officer yells. On screen, the Chinese radar pulse spikes target lock confirmed. The crew can almost feel the pilot's stare. "Maintain course," the commander orders. The rivet joint holds steady at 30,000 feet. Its only defense is discipline and a radio link to Pacific Command. For a moment, the sky feels smaller than the cockpit itself. Fuel flow stays steady. Hands hover off the throttles. Every motion deliberate. Then a calm voice. "Moonstone 2, 1, Raptor escort inbound. Hold your vector." Far east, 2 F-22 Raptors tear west from Kadena. Invisible on radar, they close fast. The J-10C senses it and banks away, contrails flashing in the Sunday. A J-16 joins from the north, 2 versus 1. The Raptor's data link stitch the picture. The rivet joint sees clean tracks again. Inside, the team works in silence. The signals, officer logs, lock frequencies. The pilot stays level. Every beep could mean a launch. They record the PL-15 tones, the sweep rate, the gaps, breadcrumbs for the next mission. Raptor 1 visual contact confirmed. The F-22 arrive like ghosts. The J-10C drops its lock and circles wider, but a jamming burst floods the console's Chinese electronic warfare. The crew counters, switching bands. "They're testing us," the commander mutters. "They want the footage and the leverage." For 2 long minutes, the aircraft orbit each other. No one fires. The stillness is heavier than noise. Controllers in both capitals listen, ready to log every word. Suddenly, the J-10C dives low, flares bursting in defiance. Unsafe intercept. The Raptor calls on guard frequency. A Mandarin reply crackles, taunting, unreadable. Moonstone 2-1. Begin, egress. The rivet joint banks right, losing altitude. The J-16 slides alongside, its infrared sensor glowing. The Americans feel the lock even without radar. Then, a flash, and F-22 opens its bay doors for half a second. Silent warning, the message lands. The J-10C eases away, the J-16 holds position. Clouds rise to the west. Below, freighters keep moving. Unaware, the formation presses south, tight as a wire. Restraint wins this minute, but the margin is razor thin. 10:20 a.m., the calm doesn't last. The J-16 shifts position closer now, shadowing the rivet joint's right wing. Its canards twitch, missiles glinting under sunlight. They're tightening formation, the co-pilot says. The American crew knows the move. Intimidation through proximity. One Raptor slides ahead. The other climbs high for overwatch. Raptor 2 covering north. The radio crackles. The Chinese jets respond instantly. Both radar beams sweeping across the F-22 last known location. They can't see it, but they know it's there. Invisible doesn't mean forgotten. Then the airwaves explode electronic noise, coded bursts, fake pings. The sky fills with ghosts, false targets, flickering signatures. The rivet joint's analysts race to filter signal from static. It's a chess game fought in electrons, not bullets. The J-10C darts through the haze again, this time flipping inverted just above the American jet. Its belly missiles hang plain and visible, a silent message. Inside the cockpit, the Americans hold steady, refusing to react. Keep the line, the commander says. Don't give them the footage they want. But tension cuts deeper now. The Chinese formation widens, drawing a loose arc around the rivet joint 3 fighters, closing in rhythm. The F-22 reposition, invisible sentinels between them. One wrong interpretation, and a radar pulse could trigger the unthinkable. At Pacific Command, screens light up. The feed shows distances shrinking, 1,000 feet, 700, 500. Confirm no weapons release, a voice demands. The answer comes half a second later. Negative fire, holding pattern. That half second feels eternal. Then silence again. The J-10C rolls upright, its pilot gesturing hand open, palm down a mock calm down. A strange human moment in the middle of an electronic storm. The Americans don't answer. The F-22 stays silent, just shifting enough to show their wings. Below them, the strait glitters. Cargo ships crawl along lanes that keep the world's trade alive. Up here, a single burst could send it all spiraling. The radio clicks once, maintain posture, no engagement. If you were up there, watching those fighters circle closer with live missiles locked, would you hold the line or break first? Tap 1 to stand firm, or 9 if you'd pull back before the spark. 10:24 a.m. Just when both sides seem to hold their nerve, something new appears on radar. A fast, low contact coming from the mainland. The icon flickers, speed rising past Mach 3. Unknown inbound altitude 200 feet. The rivet joint's operator freezes. It's too low for a fighter, too fast for a drone. The F-22 snap into motion. Raptor 1 turning hot. Their sensors strain for a lock, but the signal splits. One blip becomes 2, then 4. Could be decoys, someone says. The data feed surges with static. Then, silence. The contacts vanish. Electronic spoofing, the commander mutters. They're using the Strait's radar clutter. It's a new Chinese tactic blending digital deception with real aircraft, forcing the US side to guess which is which. For a moment, the formation wavers. The J-16 edges closer again, testing the response. The rivet joint's warning tones flash amber. Radar illumination detected bearing east. The sky, calm seconds ago, turns electric. Suddenly, a missile tone shrieks, but it's not from the Americans. The J-10C fires a flare burst, fooling its own radar. The system reads it as a launch. Alarms scream in both cockpits. Negative launch! False track! The Pacific Command controller yells into the comms, but the airwaves are chaos English, Mandarin, static blending into one frantic roar. One Raptor dives low, its stealth shape cutting through the haze. The J-16 banks hard to avoid it, passing just a few hundred feet below the rivet joint. Jet wash shakes the cabin. For 2 seconds, everyone thinks it's over until a digital ping cuts through the noise. Command uplink lost. The rivet joint's main feed goes dark. No video, no data, just dead silence between them and Hawaii. The crew stares at the blank monitors. The commander exhales, "Now we're blind." 10:27 a.m. The cockpit glows red. The rivet joint's comms are dead, sensors scrambled, the link to Hawaii gone. Backup channel online? Negative. We're cut off. The crew moves fast manual charts, analog bearings, anything to stay aware. Outside, contrails twist in thin white arcs. The J-16 circles again. Visual contact bearing 210. The co-pilot calls. The J-10C dives from above, sun at its back. Its radar spikes hard, locking on the rivet joint again. They're closing 500 feet. Raptors check left. The commander's voice cuts through static. The F-22 roll low, engines roaring. One climbs to guard, the other drops between the rivet joint and the fighters. The J-16 sweeps tighter, its targeting pod glowing faint red. Then, a flash, the J-10C launches something. For half a heartbeat, everyone thinks it's a missile. Missile away! But it's a decoy flare pack, drifting in orange trails. A test. A taunt. The F-22 answer with flares of their own. The sky turns into a tangle of burning dots. Inside, the rivet joint rattles. "We're out of comm options," the commander says. "We move or we get boxed in." The co-pilot checks fuel. "If we push south, Raptors can cover." "Do it." Raptor 1, disengage east and cover egress. "Copy, pushing south." The formation banks, slow and heavy. The Chinese fighters shadow every move. The J-10C slides dangerously close, barely 2 wingspans apart. Its pilot raises a hand. Fingers spread a gesture meaning, "Turn back." No one blinks. The F-22 rolls inverted above. Weapons bay cracked open just enough to show its payload. 2 pilots face each other, hundreds of feet apart. One daring, one defending, both knowing one twitch ends it all. The standoff holds for 6 endless seconds. Then the J-10C rolls away. The tension breaks, but the silence feels heavier than before. The rivet joint steadies, the Raptors reform, and the horizon clears. Below, the strait glimmers as if nothing happened. But everyone aboard knows it did. That close call will echo through commands, headlines, and strategy rooms for months. If you were in that cockpit, cut off, surrounded, and staring down a live missile bay, would you stand your ground or pull away before the point of no return? Tap 1 to hold your line, or 9 to break before it's too late. 10:45 a.m. The rivet joint crosses the southern corridor, escorted all the way by the F-22 until radar finally clears. The crew sits in silence. No cheers, no talk, just quiet breathing and the hum of stabilized engines. When the link to Hawaii comes back online, the first message is simple. "Status?" The commander replies, "Safe, barely." Hours later, the footage reaches Pacific Command. The intercept is replayed frame by frame. Distance readings, flare bursts, radar spikes. The Chinese J-10C inverted pass becomes the image of the week. No shots fired, but the tension is unmistakable. In Beijing, state media runs a different clip slow motion of the J-10C banking past the American jet with the caption, "Resolute defense of national airspace." In Washington, analysts lean over screens, noting every second the Chinese radar locked on. The question isn't what happened, but what comes next. Military planners update protocols overnight. From now on, every U.S. surveillance flight near Taiwan will fly with armed escort. Fighter pairing becomes standard. Radio discipline mandatory. "This was too close," one Pacific officer writes. Next time, we might not get that 6-second pause. For the crew of Moonstone 21, the return flight feels longer than usual. The adrenaline fades, replaced by the slow weight of what could have been. They didn't fire, they didn't flinch, but everyone on board knows that restraint doesn't last forever. Across the Pacific, the sun sets over two nations that both claim victory in silence. Neither side lost an aircraft. Neither side backed down. Yet the distance between close call and conflict has never been thinner. Down on the tarmac as the crew steps off, one airman whispers, "Next time, who blinks first?" And maybe that's the real question tonight: who truly held the upper hand up there in the clouds? If you think it was the US, tap 1. If you believe China quietly won this round, tap 9.